All right, so I have seen this challenge out on the web and I decided to make it into a lesson. This is a build a bridge challenge, and I kind of introduced by showing them why or examples of when they would need to build a temporary bridge that they put in place. The Army uses it, different bridge outings. I give them their mission, I give them a rubric, and I also give them like a pre-designed template that I want them to fill out. Uh, the, the, the lesson is kind of designed to be challenging enough to where it takes a uh, extra extra effort to get to that top grade range, whether it's different uh, tasks they have to complete. But you see them building here. I give them about a week to build. There's no instructions. They have to build and design their own robot, different bridge, and it has to obviously meet certain requirements, but mainly just has to get across a 6-inch gap. So they get the gap, they test it. Once they figure out their flaws, they can try to correct them. I was very impressed with the way they designed their own. Really, not too many of them had similarities. You see here, like this is way too big. He kind of figured that out later, but probably too late. He still was able to make it work. You start to see different bridges that have locking edges. Start to see them sensing the edge. You start to see them trying to return the bridge back to the robot when they're done. Um, and you obviously see that the Lego itself, I mean, their robots themselves are not heavy enough to support some of these bridges, but they just have to lower them so it works out fine for him. Or here, he didn't maybe use the right gearing to get it to be able to lift it back up. Um, you start to see the different tracks or wheels, whether they use the tracks like in this case here, like a tank. There were good and bad to each of them. So here I think he did actually get it lifted out off the camera, but on the camera he didn't. So there, like that little sensor up front, that's how they sense the edge. And they got to back up a little bit and lower it. This one's pretty solid. I told them to build it like they were building a prototype. There were no instructions, like I said. I did take off a half point if they touched their robot during the video, but there were no instructions, so they just kind of kept tweaking their code or their robot to get it to work, which was really enjoyable to see. It's probably a little premature on the actual challenge because it was pretty tough. We haven't done enough of this style, and this was maybe a little hard, but I don't know if that was a bad thing. I think it was good for them to kind of get, these are good students, so it was kind of good for them to get overly challenged to where it kind of whooped them a little bit. This is the ultimate one though. Notice the sensing the edge. He even put a arch in his bridge, supported it in such a way that it locks in place. They were not actually allowed to use any sort of remote. They had to code this using computer coding programming. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.